What's up, guys? We're back again with one of the most tricky tactics in Clash Royale history. You never want to see this unless you're watching it, because every opponent is going to get surprised, bamboozled, and completely confused. The entire game, I'm going to be splitting archers in the back, dropping skeletons in Ice Spear to make them seem like, hey, I got the fastest cycle imaginable, or even dropping the dreaded Tesla on defense and just playing like a complete bot, making our opponents feel like they're going to get spell cycled or xbowed at any moment. So of course, they're going to cycle their Inferno Dragons, maybe their buildings that they don't necessarily need. And when they do, we're going to be there to seize the moment with this toxic strategy. We're going to be going all in with a giant graveyard and unveiling the arrows to pierce their towers and crush their dreams. Giant graveyard and xbow are some of the most polarizing strategies in the game. They're super toxic on both spectrums, but giant graveyard finishes off games fast, while xbow draws on every game and makes it as painful as possible. So mixing them both together to have the offense of the giant graveyard and the defense of the xbow cycle after you secure a tower with your dirty giant surprise, your opponent will never be able to break through and they'll just become a super sad sir. This might be the most deceitful and sneaky strategy yet, and I can't wait to try it out. So let's go jump straight some games and assert dominance. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. A huge thanks to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. So jumping into this game, we are in full force deception mode, dropping the archers in the back as our first play, and then going for an Ice Spirit with skeletons. So this just looks like a graveyard deck, or looks like an xbow deck. But when I go for Tesla in the middle, you think it's going to be an xbow deck 9 times out of 10. So I'm going to set up my Tesla in the middle so that it's actually able to kill the Valkyrie a lot quicker. He might feel compelled to drop something at the river here to body block and stop me from going in for an xbow. So yeah, he's gonna Inferno Dragon early on. He thought I would xbow. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
You're already under my genjutsu.
I'm really happy about this. His Inferno Dragon is out of cycle, which is his best way of killing the giant. Now without that, what are you expecting to do, my dude? How are you gonna defend this? He has no way. He has no way to stop this. He's got no Inferno Dragon. His entire deck is just melted. His best answer is out of cycle. We can arrow easily on top of the skeleton army. And this is how this deck works. You crush your opponent's dreams.
Every second you're not running, I'm only getting closer.
You make the memes. And you become the dirtiest sir to ever grace Clash Royale. When they expect something like this, they can easily defend it. They're going to save their Inferno Dragon. But if they think it's an xbow deck, they'll cycle their tank killer like that guy and go and cycle the wrong thing. You hate to see it and you love to see it at the same time, but you would never keep your Inferno Dragon against an xbow player because first off, it's an air card. It doesn't distract the xbow. So this didn't make sense for him to have it in his hand.
A few misplacements later.
So obviously, ramming your offenses into an xbow-esque defense deck is never going to be a good time, and I feel like this guy's probably pretty frustrated.
I've been bamboozled by a bamboozler.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
All right, we'll do this. Did I lose? Hey, we got a game against Trainer Joan. So we're gonna give him the full expo experience. You guys already know the deal. We're gonna be spamming that emoji like nobody's business. So I'm gonna go in for my archers in the back. He might think something's up right now. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's just kind of want to ingrain this in his brain that this is the only possibility available, bro. So he's gonna Inferno Dragon. This is what consistently happens. They always cycle the wrong stuff. Like that should never be dropped, bro. Literally never if you're playing against Giant Graveyard. But he thought he was playing against Expo, so he just gets rid of it like hot potato. And maybe he's gonna be a tomato because that Inferno Dragon not locking onto the giant. Just going past the giant. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. What a betrayal. The Inferno Dragon saw it, but just decided that's not my job. You gotta pay me more than 4 elixir to deal with that thing. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go archers here. I can go in for like skeletons and then follow up with a Tesla. If you want to spam into me, I don't think that balloon's going to give you any value. And we know that the archers are going to give us counter push. Even if you went for a freeze, you guys saw that the archers were able to hit the balloon. So if I drop it there, then I knew that the archers would be able to hit it. So it's kind of big brain tactics, trying to bait out the freeze for no reason whatsoever. But he wasn't a small brain sir. He was actually pretty intelligent, despite cycling the Inferno Dragon there. But who can blame him? Like, this happens so consistently with this deck. All right, so remember, he's going to cycle the Inferno Dragon again. But this time he has Tombstone, so he should be able to pull it to the other side. He's kind of figured out a good card cycle here. So Makes sense at why he's doing it. He also has to play really aggressive, I would assume. Oh, Lava Hound. All right, so
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
I think it's better for me to do this. Skeletons on the other side, and then Tesla on top of the flying machine. So I eat damage, but I get to deal a lot more. The flying machine dies. We're surgically dissecting this push like a giant graveyard player would. The big brain strategies. Every single giant graveyard player that you play against in Clash Royale is a doctor, by the way. And if you don't know that, now you know it, all right? So I think I go in for a knight here, and then I go in for a giant graveyard on the other side because that knight archer's push might even take tower. To be honest, it's a really difficult card combination to deal with if you don't have enough elixir. I can Ice Spirit. Oh my gosh, the knight. The knight saying knights out to him, and then the Inferno Dragon gets reset by that. Oh my gosh. That was devastating because he would have 110% been able to defend that. There's no reason for him not to be able to defend that. The only reason it didn't work was because the Ice Spirit reset it. He would have been able to zap on top of everything else. That was so funny and horrible at the same time for our opponent. I'm able to get a juicy arrows, and then I think I can get back to a Tesla. There's no way. There's no way. I don't even have to go in for arrows or anything else. That's crazy. I can just all in on either side at this point. I can decide whichever way I want to win. As long as I don't get drop glitch or drag glitch, this is a dominant W. So GG, my dude. I'm going to go for a Tesla, expecting you to go and spam more stuff at the river, and we're able to make you shiver and deliver the dominance. So I can go for skeletons and then graveyard and then arrows because no matter what I do, all I need is one skeleton hit. And even if you have poison, which you are not hiding away, you're going to get just unleashed by the toxicity of the skeleton swarming you at every single side. He gives us a 10 out of 10. So he appreciates the deck. He appreciates the strategy. I can't believe how successful this has been for me today. After all these wins today, now we're 8,300 in the world. And we keep cruising up. Let's go, guys. So you guys already know the deal. Our mix of Expo and Giant is about to mix up every opponent. They're going to be disheveled and destroyed as they finally figure out that this strategy was not something they wanted to see.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
So I love the fact that this deck actually has great defenses and some of the most toxic offenses in the game. Like, literally, I think that the deck is well-rounded, as dumb as it is, because the Knight can tank for the Graveyard as well, so you have two tanks. Like, it works really well. All right, so this guy's going to go in for an Ice Golem, and he's going to go in for a Cannon. Yo, with a Cannon out of cycle, he was expecting Expo, and now he has nothing. He has nothing for this. Literally nothing. You have to go in for Skeletons, counter of log on defense, so then you can't log on top of my Skeletons, so then your Hog Rider can't break through. And then my Skeletons start to swarm you. Oh my gosh, my Skeletons on offense are behind my Giant. The Skeletons that I defended with got into his tower. How does that happen? It just doesn't feel fair. It just doesn't feel right, you know? Like, I defend the Hog Rider with the Skeletons. They already get absurd value with a positive elixir trade against the Hog Rider. And then they hammer it down the dominance on the tower at the same time. Wow, this deck is fine. All right, we can go in for a Tesla again because it's a 4-for-4 trade. It's not that bad. Every time that he goes in for a Musketeer, though, it makes me sad, so I don't want to see that. He'll probably go for an Ice Golem and body block the Knight from crossing the river. I think he's going to be good, so I'm going to go Archers and predict that. Really? You're not going to stop the Knight from crossing the river? Really now? Okay, bro. I see how it is. You just don't want to play well out here. Okay, if he logs the Skeletons and Ice Spear, I'm going to be a super sad sir. If he doesn't, he only gets one hit, so it's not that bad. This is one of those games that I'm waiting to unleash the Giant Graveyard. I kind of want to keep giving them the Expo emojis. It just... I'm an Expo player, I promise. I'll go for the Tesla. Honestly, it feels like BM instead of like a facade and trying to make him believe that it's Expo. So I'm not going to do that after he knows that I've got Giant Graveyard. You know what? I could double arrows on the Musketeers and kill them, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm insane for thinking so. All right, we're going to go Tesla here. Expect him to probably get some type of defense going through. He was able to body block the Giant for a while, and we get some Skeleton damage. We get an Ice Spirit out of him that's going to be wasted on the Giant, right? Oh, mamma mia. All right, well, the Ice Spirit's going to go jump back. The Vengeful Ice Spirit. The Vengeful Ice Spirit. Oh my gosh, he fireballed on the wrong thing. This is awesome. How did he miss that? That's so cool. All right, so he has to log on the Archers, but he also has to log onto the Graveyard Skeleton swarming him. So this is one of those situations where people just don't expect this deck to be a real thing. They take too much damage at the start. They probably would have won if they had identified it early on, but now it's just too hard for him to come back.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Ice Spirit's definitely going to go and connect, or if not, then it's just going to make sure that the Hog Rider's going to have a really tough time. And I can graveyard as soon as the Knight crosses. So he has to be wary of the Knight or the Giant crossing. No matter what I'm doing, if I defend with one of my cards, I can just throw a graveyard with it and then arrow the tower and get one skeleton hit and win the game. So all I need is that little love from little Larry, and that's all we need. GG, well played, and peace out. Pleasure tearing your towers to pieces. We've been on an undefeated streak today. It just doesn't make sense. 27 trophies, but now we're 7,000 in the world. I kind of believe in this. Maybe I'm insane for believing, but I believe that we can do it. So I'm going to go in for the skeletons and shut down all the bridge spam. Going for another giant graveyard here. Keep my archers alive. And then Ice Spirit on top of the P.E.K.K.A. If the P.E.K.K.A. gets retargeted on by skeletons and it doesn't hit the giant. Oh my gosh. Wait, it's targeting the wrong thing. No way. Let's go. This is what we need. This is what I live for. This is what I breathe for. I can go in for arrows here. 100% want to follow up with another archers. The Tesla defense is real. We got to seal the deal. Come on, baby. Let me steal this game from my opponent. Even though I definitely don't deserve it, I want it more than anything. I'm going to arrows here as well. I'm going to go for an Ice Spirit. Looks like the Knight is still alive. I think all I need to do is go in for a Tesla and then a Knight on defense, and he's not able to break through, and he loses the game. No way! Guys, this deck actually allows you to beat people that have giant graveyard counters. Simply, if you are going to be able to wait the last possible second, your opponent will never be able to break through. You go in for the giant graveyards when they're just not ready, and you shred their towers because the skeletons distract the P.E.K.K.A. And then you can use your Ice Spirit to reset the P.E.K.K.A. onto your skeletons that you cycle at the river. It's not fair, but it sure is a lot of fun for me. All right, we got a game here. So first things first, guys, you already know the deal. We're going to be spamming this man like a certified savage with the xbow emote. So I can go and pop up with the archers, you know, some more xbow sorcery, and maybe even follow up with a fast cycle to connivingly make this man just feel like boxed in. He only has a few possibilities. Oh, wait, why would you do that? Why would you go in for a bowler? Do you have like 17 different tanks? Are you one of those players that has giant, a bowler, a fisherman, and like the worst xbow nightmare anyone has ever experienced? I feel like that's what this guy is. Okay, all right, he's aggressive. He's a wild child. He's going to take out most of my tower here, and unfortunately, I just wasn't expecting Bowler Balloon Freeze anymore. It's just not something you see every day of the week. I'm in a terrible spot. I'm in quite the predicament, if I do say so myself. I'm going to have Barbarrel. Somehow the Knight felt like a Wink Edition and did 1,100 damage, so maybe we're back in business. Anyway, I'm going to go and cycle my Tesla here. If I pre-plant my Tesla and he goes other side, I can go in for a graveyard and not care too much. I can kite the Lumberjack into the Tesla. I just don't want to show what I have, so I kind of had to cycle my Tesla, if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. If I cycle my arrows, or I cycle my giant, or I cycle my graveyard, my opponent knows what my deck is, so I can't have that happen. Let's go! He cycled his Inferno Dragon. That is the best answer in his entire deck to Giant Graveyard. So I can release the Kraken. I can crack down on that tower and totally make him a super sad sir. So he expected Expo, and then we go in for the Giant Graveyard, and he's just like floored by the fact that this is going to take his tower. He's going to tornado it back, but the Giant still gives him a few presents of pain, and I can go in for the archers in the same lane as all of his other stuff. If you go in for a freeze, that's not going to be enough to take my tower with the Inferno Dragon. That Inferno Dragon should die, and then the Baby Dragon's going to get tanked for by the Knight. Let's go, guys! The pure strategy spam, even though the synergy isn't like as strong as a traditional Giant Graveyard deck, when it's undiscovered, when it's something that people don't anticipate, that's what gives you the best fate. Getting the Inferno Dragon out of cycle is all we vibe with. Okay, so I'm going to go in for a Tesla here. As we saw before, I think he's just going to continue to spam into me, and I just don't want to give him the best trade. So I'm going to go in for archers here. I'm going to get a Knight down. He might go balloon other side. I don't think that's a huge concern for me. If you go same side, I can get multiple Teslas down. So this is really good. This is what we wanted. This is what I dreamed of. This is what I'm memed of. Oh my gosh, the double Tesla cycle. That was what I had to do to defend the tower. There was no other option, guys. There was no other play. That was the only way. And then the Tesla's going to stay alive to kill the Lumberjack. I can get another graveyard down if I need to. Okay. So 22 seconds remaining. It's definitely better for me to go for a super high Tesla so he's not able to freeze the archers and the tower at the same time. And then I think I go in for like a graveyard with an Ice Spirit instead of a Giant because it's just going to be shredded by Inferno Dragon. So why would I do anything besides Ice Spirit? Look at that. That's so funny. Isn't that dumb? I'm going to do a ton of damage to the point that I can just arrow him out, I think. Just a little bit of skeleton love. Just a little bit of skeleton love, bruh. Oh, no skeleton love for me. All right, well, whatever. I have the fastest cycle imaginable. When you compare spell cycling from Expo cycle with giant graveyard? That just doesn't feel fair, man. Oh my gosh. GG, well played, and peace out. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an awesome rest of your day.